Hi everyone, I'm Elizabeth Loeffelman and I'm doing a presentation about the Women Working 1800 to 1930 Digital Library from Harvard Library. The Women Working Digital Library has the same mission statement as the Harvard Library, which is, I quote, "We are expert partners on the pathways to knowledge. We engage with our communities in the creation and sharing of new knowledge, connecting them with vast collections that we curate and steward with collaborators around the world. At its core, our mission is to advance the learning, research, and pursuit of truth that are at the heart of Harvard," end quote. This is a screenshot of the Women Working homepage, and you'll see more of the digital library towards the end of this presentation. The primary user communities for Women Working are students, professors, and scholars, but they also aim to reach people around the world since their resources are available online at no cost to users. The primary stakeholder of Women Working is Harvard University, and it is part of the Harvard Curiosity Digital Collections, a service available to faculty and students that allows them to work with Harvard Library staff to build digital exhibits and collections using existing metadata and digitized records. Women Working is funded by Harvard University from sources including the Harvard Endowment, tuition, and philanthropy. This makes it a sustainable model for this digital library because the exhibits and collections are created from materials already digitized. As such, most of the costs appear to come from staff time and the cost of maintaining a website. The digital library displays records and metadata from the Harvard Library Catalog called Hollis, which is the library's main search tool. Women Working is part of the Curiosity Digital Collections, so the digital library can be accessed as part of this collection. Women Working contains 4,429 records, including photographs, books, journals, reports, lectures, petitions, and letters, digitized from records held by Harvard University repositories and selected for the digital library by Harvard Library staff. In 5 years, the digital library is likely not to contain a significantly higher number of records since the focus of the digital library is so specific. There is no formal collection development policy for Women Working since it comes from 38 repositories across Harvard, including Harvard University Archives, the Baker Library, Harvard Art Museums, and others. The digital library can be organized by fields such as creator-contributor, date, place of origin, publisher, material technique, subject place, and more. The metadata for each item includes many different fields, including title, creator, date, publisher, subjects, notes, repository, and others. The physical location of each item included in the digital library is referenced in the metadata in the fields repository and classification. Classification appears to be similar to a call number. It also appears that each digital item is given a numerical record ID in the metadata. Anyone with an internet connection can view the digital library online. To connect with Harvard staff about the digital exhibit, an email address and phone number for the Schlesinger Library on the History of Women in America are provided on the About page. And when users go to the site, there's only one search engine available with the option to search within the text of items. There are no advanced options available, although there are options to limit your search on the left side menu, including creator-contributor, date, place of origin, publisher, language, etc. And here are those search and filter options circled in red. The technology of Women Working is not immediately clear based on information available online. While this information is not provided on the website, I assume the files are located at Harvard University. The digital library has a very simple interface and with only 2 tabs of information, Home and About. Users can use the simple search to view items or browse all items. Overall, I would say this digital library is unique in that it brings together items held by Harvard Library and presents them in a feminist light. The digital library focuses on women's history using items that may not have been previously considered from this perspective, and that is why this digital library is important. And now we're going to take a brief tour of Women Working. As you can see, it's a pretty simple interface with 2 tabs here, Home and About. So if you go to the About page, it just tells you a little bit more about the collection. And this is also where you can see that contact information from the Schlesinger Library on the History of Women in America. So if we go back to the home page, you can either search using the search box here at the top, or you can browse all items, like I said. There's also this list of items you can limit your search by. So if you wanted to do just a creator, you can select that over here. So I am going to just do a search with the word nurse and see what comes up. So we have 104 items, and you can see this is a variety of items since I did not limit my search in any way. So the first return is a photograph, and then as you go down, you'll see other documents that are part of this collection. So if I click on nurse, this is where we'll see a larger image as well as the metadata for the item. And you can download the image here, which is very convenient in different sizes. And then if you go down, you'll see the metadata. So the title is nurse. And then the creator is the Free Hospital for Women. We have an approximate date here. And then, as I mentioned earlier, there's a listing for the repository. So you can see that this comes from the Francis A. Countway Library of Medicine, which is part of Harvard University. And then if we go back out and go to a document for the nurse, you will see similar metadata for this, approximate dating, more notes about the image here. This includes the copyright information. And then its repository. So this is the same Library of Medicine, but it's also in master microforms at Harvard University. So that is the end of my digital library presentation, and I want to thank you so much for listening.